Welcome back to the U.S. Military Summary Channel. Today we have an exciting face-off between two legendary aircraft, Russia's MiG-29 and the United States F-16. The comparison between these two jets goes beyond a mere technological race between nations, as it also highlights the development and progress of the global defense aviation industry. Join U.S. Military Summary as we explore the strengths, weaknesses, and notable features of each aircraft in today's video to see who will emerge victorious in this epic showdown. American Eagle of the U.S. Air Force. In the 1970s, before equipping the heavy F-15 Eagle fighter jet, the U.S. Air Force recognized the need for a lightweight, technologically advanced, simple, and cost-effective frontline fighter to gain aerial dominance. At that time, 5 U.S. companies presented new frontline fighter aircraft projects for the Air Force. Eventually, the Pentagon chose the F-16 project by General Dynamics, a company that has previously created the two-seater tactical bomber F-111. Flight tests took place from 1975 to 1978. After being approved by the military leadership, F-16 production began. Many advanced technological solutions were applied to the F-16 fighter jet. The bubble canopy design allows pilots to easily observe the surroundings from the cockpit. Structurally, the F-16 is a single-wing aircraft built in a classic configuration, with one engine at the rear and wings mounted in the middle. The F-16 serves to protect the airspace of 25 countries and has participated in dozens of armed conflicts worldwide, from the Lebanese Civil War in 1981 to U.S.-led military operations with allies in Syria. These aircraft carry out missions to gain aerial superiority and are also used as attack aircraft. Rival MiG-29. To counter the fourth-generation fighter aircraft of NATO countries, on October 6, 1977, the Soviet Union had the MiG-29 perform its first flight. The primary mission of this aircraft was to gain air superiority in a relatively small front area. Long-range attacks and target searches were the tasks of the heavier Su-27 and its improvised versions. The MiG-29's role was to protect infantry units and armored vehicles from the opposing air force, shield logistics base, and counter enemy aerial reconnaissance activities. Lightweight fighters are often deployed at forward airfields, so the developers designed the MiG-29 to be simple and extremely reliable. The MiG-29 fighters were built with an integrated aerodynamic layout, featuring a low wing, 2 tail fins, and separate engines. The MiG-29 is a highly intelligent machine. Its 2 RD-33 engines enable the MiG-29 to accelerate up to 2,450 km per hour at high altitude. Detailed comparison. Specifications. When equipped for air-to-air combat, the MiG-29A has a maximum weight of 17,325 kilograms, including the maximum fuel capacity of the internal main fuel tank, 2 long-range AA-10A R-27 missiles, 4 short-range AA-11 R-73 missiles, 150 rounds of 30mm ammunition, and an additional 1,500-liter external fuel tank. The MiG has 2 engines, each providing 8,370 kilograms of thrust. In total, the MiG-29 has a thrust-to-weight ratio of 0.97 to 1 upon takeoff. This ratio for the F-16C is 0.92 to 1, with equipment including 4 long-range AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles, 2 short-range AIM-9M Sidewinder missiles, 510 rounds of 20mm ammunition, a full main fuel tank, and an additional 1,130-liter external fuel tank. The total weight is 14,328 kilograms. The F-16C has 1 engine with a thrust of 13,050 kilograms. Speed. Both designs have good maneuverability. The MiG-29 Fulcrum has a higher maximum speed at high altitudes, with a limit of Mach 2.3. while the F-16's limit is Mach 2.05. The difference is due to variations in the air intake design. The MiG-29 uses variable air intakes, while the F-16 uses fixed intakes. At low altitudes, the speed limit for both aircraft is about 1,500 km per hour, without external fuel tanks. If equipped with external fuel tanks, the limit is 1,100 km per hour, or Mach 1.6 for the F-16, and Mach 1.5 for the MiG-29. Control capabilities. The MiG-29 has inferior control capabilities compared to the F-16. While the F-16 was the first aircraft to employ a fly-by-wire control system, the MiG-29 still utilizes mechanical control mechanisms. The MiG-29 employs a power-assisted control system to help make handling smoother, but this also makes the aircraft slower to respond to pilot inputs. Turning off the power assist feature can make the controls more sensitive, but this is only allowed during aerobatic displays, as it simultaneously disables the stability limiter. The control stick requires light pressure, but must be moved a considerable distance to achieve the desired effect. If not attended to, the control stick can drift up to 1.5 inches in any direction, causing corresponding changes in the aircraft's flight path. Similarly, if the pilot lets go of the throttle, it often moves back to the idle position. Controlling the MiG-29A is relatively easy during most mission phases, such as takeoff, climbing, cruising, and landing. However, pilots must exert considerable effort to control the aircraft precisely during challenging maneuvers, formation flying, or when engaging in dogfights using guns. Overall, pilots can perform the required maneuvers with the MiG-29, but they must maintain a high level of concentration throughout the flight. The digital fly-by-wire control system of the F-16 allows for precise and responsive handling, significantly reducing the pilot's workload and enabling them to focus on other tactical tasks instead of constantly managing the aircraft's flight controls. Combat tactics: if an F-16C and a MiG-29 were to face off in an aerial dogfight, both aircraft would be able to detect each other at nearly equivalent distances. The F-16C, equipped with AMRAAM missiles, would have the opportunity to fire at twice the range of the MiG-29. An F-16 Falcon can distinguish individual MiG-29s within a group and target multiple aircraft simultaneously. The radar on the MiG-29A does not allow for multiple target engagement at once. If there are more than one F-16s, the MiG-29 pilot would not know which target their radar is locking onto, and can only engage one target at a time. The AMRAAM is equipped with an active radar seeker. The F-16 pilot can launch multiple AMRAAMs at different targets, updating target coordinates for the missiles before they get close enough for their onboard radar to guide them automatically. The F-16 pilot can choose to either disengage or continue to close the distance. On the other hand, the AA-10A is a semi-active missile, meaning its radar does not have a transmitter, but only receives radar signals reflected from the target by the parent aircraft. Therefore, the MiG-29 pilot must continuously guide the missile until it reaches its target, which means the MiG-29A pilot has only one option: to continue heading towards the opponent. In reality, once the MiG-29A gets close enough to launch the AA-10A, it is only a few seconds away from the AMRAAM. If both aircraft manage to evade long-range missiles and neither side retreats, they will engage in close combat. In this case, the MiG-29A has a significant disadvantage due to its engine producing a lot of smoke. The smoke trail it creates makes it easier for the opposing pilot to locate the aircraft. Additionally, the F-16's cockpit, as well as the F-15 of the same generation, is designed based on experiences from the Vietnam War, providing the pilot with the widest possible field of view. The cockpit is elevated, and the transparent canopy covers the entire area around the cockpit, giving the pilot a panoramic view of their surroundings. The F-16 is also smaller in size, especially when viewed head-on, since it has only one engine and one air intake, and its engine is smokeless. In contrast, the MiG-29A's cockpit is situated deeper within the aircraft, and the view between the 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock positions is virtually non-existent. The initial turn rates of both aircraft are almost equal. The MiG-29A loses energy faster during high-speed turns due to its design having greater drag under high-G conditions compared to the F-16. As a result, the F-16 can maintain high energy maneuvers for a longer period. Control. The interaction between the pilot and the equipment is another significant difference in the design of the F-16 and MiG-29. In the F-16 cockpit, all devices are arranged logically so that the pilot only needs to glance once, from left to right, top to bottom, when checking the necessary technical parameters. Additionally, all necessary parameters are displayed on the heads-up display, HUD, mounted right in front of the pilot, so they don't have to look down at the control panel frequently. The display devices in the MiG-29 cockpit are quite disorganized, requiring the pilot to move their eyes a lot in a zigzag pattern when checking parameters. The information displayed on the MiG-29's HUD is also quite basic, not showing the altitude and distance of the target being targeted. A notable feature in the design of the F-16 cockpit is the hands-on throttle and stick (HOTAS) control, meaning all necessary combat control buttons are mounted on the flight control stick and throttle. The pilot doesn't need to remove their hands from these controls to select, activate, and launch weapons, or adjust radar modes. With the MiG-29, the pilot must take their hands off the controls, look down at the control panel, and adjust various switches for these actions. These differences once again demonstrate the fundamental difference in combat philosophies between Western air forces and those of the Eastern Bloc, where the West emphasizes the importance of the pilot and always ensures that the pilot is given the highest priority in aircraft design. Above are the assessments from U.S. Military Summary about the F-16 and MiG-29 fighter jets. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any opinions, please write them in the video's comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any interesting videos. We wish you a great day and see you again tomorrow.